Good morning everybody and welcome to Planespotting. It is the 2nd of January. Happy New Year everybody. I hope you've all had a fantastic New Year's Eve and the Christmas period, and I wish you all the very, very best for 2026. Have you made any New Year's resolutions? Let me know in the comments. Right, so yeah, here at Manchester, 8 o'clock in the morning, just gone. It's going to be quite an interesting one actually today because there's a rare visitor to Manchester Airport. We've got a Boeing 777 freighter in, so that's going to be taken off very shortly. There's a few other interesting aircraft in as well. So you're going to get to see today, you're going to get to see the Boeing 777s, Dreamliners, the 787s, you're going to see the big Airbus A380 Super Jumbos, the A350s, and also the A330s and all the other regional aircraft as well. So yeah, quite a lot going on today. I'm going to be here for the next few hours, so stick around, and if you enjoy this type of thing, please let me know in the comments. Helps nurture the algorithm when you interact, and also please don't forget to do the thing. I'd really appreciate that as well. Right, let's get going. So just landed a moment ago. Speaking of A350s, we've got, I need to adjust my tripod. There we go. That's better. Right, so yeah, we've got an A350 Ethiopian A350-900 has just arrived from Geneva. If you take a look at the rear wheels, maybe not. Oh, there we go, just coming into view just about, if you can see over the rise. If you look at the rear wheels, you can tell the difference between the A350s, the 900s and the 1000s. The 900s have got 4 wheels on each side, and the A350 1000s have got 6 on each side. That's the quickest and easiest way to tell the difference. So whereabouts in the world are you watching from? I'd like to know where my viewers are watching from. Add a comment, let me know, that'd be fantastic. For anyone not familiar with Manchester who's just tuning in for the first time, Manchester is in the UK, in the northwest. It's one of the biggest cities in the country, and Manchester Airport is the 3rd busiest airport in the UK. Right, so we have got what looks like a Ryanair heading for the runway. Before it reaches us, let's have a quick look over and see what we can see. Over at the terminal buildings, you can just see the tail there of a A380 Super Jumbo Emirates, which will be leaving a little later. A couple of Jet 2s. So we're looking at the Terminal 2 area at the moment. You can see the Norse Dreamliner with the blue tail, with a couple of Jet 2s. We've got Boeing 777-200 Pakistan International Airlines, which I don't usually see them doing an overnight stop here, but looks like that one has. Maybe something went wrong with it, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one. The tail over there, I think that's the 777 freighter. I don't recognise the tail. Looking across, we've got what looks like an A330 Virgin Atlantic. Got 2 EasyJets. This is the old Terminal 1 area now, the old control tower. And then heading over towards Terminal 3, we've got the Ryanairs. There's loads you can't see, we've just got an obscured view, but quite a lot going on today. Right, anyway, so we've got this Ryanair. This one's going to Alicante. It's a Boeing 737 MAX 8-200. Focus, please. Registration EIHGF. So I've got some big plans for the channel going into this year. I've got some collaborations that I'm hoping to get put in place at some point. I'm hoping to partner with a couple of companies as well. I'll try and figure out the issues that I've been having with the live streaming. So yeah, quite a lot I've got planned. I should have a few guests joining me as well on some of the shows. Right, just coming into land, we've got an Aurigny ATR 72-600 arriving from Guernsey. Focus. Sorry about this. There we go, getting there. There we are. Registration is GPBOT. And this one first flew in 2014. So I don't get to see this livery on the Aurignys very often. They've usually got like a yellowish coloured livery. So it's quite nice to see a different one. Right, so the weather here then at Manchester. Let's have a look at the skies. So it's been a bit icy overnight. It was sleeting yesterday. Don't know if it was a full moon or very close to a full moon, but it was a big moon in the sky. We've got a bit of a red hue in the sky. And we have got snowy conditions forecast, not for today necessarily, but for the coming days. So it is a bit of a chilly one, but the skies are clear. We've got blue sky, which is nice, and we've got none of the wet stuff forecast for today. We should have some nice sunshine very shortly when the sun comes up. Okay, making its way to the runway, we've got a Ryanair going to Milan. This one's a Boeing 737 MAX 8200. Registration EI IKJ. This one first flew in August 2024, so a fairly new aircraft. And in just a minute let's get the focus back. There we go. In a moment or two we'll have a EasyJet arriving from Belfast. This one is an Airbus A320-200. Registration is GEZGX. And it's a 7-year-old aircraft, this one. Nice steady touchdown there. You can see on the engine nacelles it's got the reverse thruster ports open to slow it down. Okay, so the Ryanair is on the runway, ready to depart. So the runways in operation today, we're using dual runways. We're using 2-3 left for takeoffs and 2-3 right for departures. Okay, and just landed, we've got Ryanair, which has arrived from Rome, Boeing 737-800. If you look at the rear of the plane, just behind the tail, at the bit that sticks out right at the back of the plane, that's the auxiliary power unit, the APU. On the 737-800s, it's short and stubby. On the 737 MAX series, it's pointy. For those who don't know, the APU, it's like a third jet engine on these aircraft, which helps with things like the air conditioning, starting the engine, and things like that. Okay, we've got a couple of aircraft now leaving the terminal area. We've got this Jet 2, which is a Boeing 737-800. This one's going to go to Vienna. Registration is GJZBK. This one first flew in February 2018. Behind it we have got an EasyJet, I believe. Yep, there we go, an EasyJet. This one is an Airbus A320-200, registration GEZTX, and it's going to Geneva. Let's stick with the Jet 2 for now. So it's approaching the runway. You used to be able to tell the Maxes and the earlier NGs, so 700s, 800s, apart looking at the wingtips, the winglets. The split winglet first was mainly seen on the Max series, but now they've started upgrading the older ones with that as well. So yeah, the easiest way to tell them apart is by the APU. It's just entering the runway now. It's going to make its turn, get lined up. Right, so the EasyJet is now on the runway. And just arrived, we've got a Lufthansa Airbus A319-100, which has just arrived from Frankfurt. Registration for this one is DAIBC. First flew in 2010. Right, just arrived, we have gotten, where's it gone? There we go. This one's a Mitsubishi CRJ 900 LR, Scandinavian SAS, arriving from Stockholm. Registration EIFPW. We don't see too many of this particular aircraft type here at Manchester. It's a 7-year-old aircraft. Just coming into land, we have got a Swiss Airbus A320-200 arriving from Zurich. Where's it gone? There we go. Registration is HBIJR, and it's a 28-year-old aircraft. Okay, just about to enter the runway, we've got Ryanair, which is going to Dublin, Boeing 737-800. Registration EIDHN. This one first flew in 2005. Okay, then the next one to take off. Where is it gone? I've lost the aircraft. There it is. This one's an EasyJet that's going to Athens. Airbus A320-200. Registration GEZPB. It's a 9-year-old aircraft. It's currently running over an hour late. So there's quite a few delays here today at Manchester. I do like it when the low sun in the morning hits the aircraft. Okay, I shall come back to that one in a minute. We've got something landing. It's Ryanair. Boeing 737 MAX 8200, registration EI-IFY, arriving from Malta. This one's a 2-year-old aircraft. Okay, next up then, heading for the runway, we've got a Aer Lingus. Airbus A320-200, registration EIGAL. This one is going to Dublin. It's a 16-year-old aircraft. Just coming into land, we've got a Ryanair 737-800, registration EIEKM, arriving from Cork. Okay, let's go back to the Aer Lingus. It's on the runway. It's about to make its turn to get into position for takeoff. We've got other aircraft now heading for the runway. We've got this ATR 72-600 Aer Lingus Regional going to Belfast. Registration is GCMJL. This one's a 9-year-old aircraft. We've also got a Jet 2 going to Rome. Stick with the ATR. Okay, we've got getting onto the runway next. So we've got this TUI, which is a 737 MAX 8 going to Boa Vista. Registration is GTUML. It's a 4-year-old aircraft, this one. Just landing, we've got British Airways Airbus A320neo. Registration is GTTNA, and it's in the Better World livery. 7-year-old aircraft. Right, so then let's see which one of these two aircraft goes onto the runway first. I think it's going to be the Jet 2. So it's going to Rome, Boeing 737-800, registration is JZHF, and it's 26 years old. Just arrived a few moments ago is an Airbus A350, Singapore Airlines from Singapore. We've got the TUI is now on the runway, ready to depart. Just waiting for the runway to clear. Okay, entering the runway next, we've got this EasyJet. It's an Airbus A320-200, registration OEIJW, going to Belfast. It's 8 years old, this aircraft. But we are ready to take off. And next up we've got Ryanair 737-800 going to Malaga. Registration is EIDWM. It's an 18-year-old aircraft. Okay, the EasyJet that has been stationary for a little while is now making its way onto the runway. Just a quick recap, this is the one that's delayed by about an hour and a half. Going to Athens, Airbus A320-200, registration GEZPB. First flew in 2016. Okay, so it's on the runway, lined up, ready to depart. So there is a very slight crosswind today. If you have a look at the windsock, it's not a limp windsock, it is blowing directly towards where I am. Okay, we've got a Norwegian who's just arrived. This is 737-800 arriving from Oslo. Registration is SE RPF. It's a 9-year-old aircraft. Okay, on the runway then we have got a Jet 2, Boeing 737-800, registration GJZHH, going to Geneva. It's a 25-year-old aircraft. Just arrived over the other runway. It's a Finnair One World livery. So Airbus A319-100, registration OH, LVD, from Helsinki, and it's a 25-year-old aircraft. This Jet 2 is going to Tenerife. So Airbus A321neo. Registration is GSUNM. It first flew in 2024. It's a little over a year old at this point. Right, so the A350 that landed a little while ago has been held at the end of the airfield. It's just starting to taxi towards the terminal buildings. Again, if you look at the rear wheels, so 2 sets of 4, indicating it's a A350-900, slightly shorter version to its 1000 sibling. Okay, we've just had a Ryanair arrive from Alicante, which is a 737-800, registration EIGXI. First flew in 2018. Right, so then heading for the runway, we've got a TUI 737-800 going to Funchal. Registration is G FDZD. This one first flew in 2007. I've got a 777 that's going to be making an appearance very shortly. Just arriving, we've got a Ryanair 737-800 arriving from Katowice. Registration 9H QDH. Very soon we should also see movements from the freighter that's in. That was delayed by quite a while. In fact, let's have a look and see how late it currently is. So it was due to take off around 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now scheduled for 9:55. quite a bit late gone there. Also running late is the A380, so that should be taking off very shortly. After this one's taken off, I'll have a look at the terminal area, see what we can see. So it's pretty cool as well on these cold days because you get to see the engine smoke as they take off. I'll come back to that one because we've got this TUI which is almost at the runway. This TUI is going to Gran Canaria. It's a 737 MAX 8. Registration GTUMD. 6-year-old aircraft. You might ask what's the difference between the 737 MAX 8 and the 737 MAX 8-200. Well, the main difference is the seating arrangement. The MAX 8-200 is more condensed. They fit more bums on seats, and the MAX 8 doesn't have as many seats, a bit more spacious, more legroom. It's on the runway, just making its turn to get into position. Right, that one was gone, so let's have a look now for our 777. Right, so this 777, Boeing 777-300, it's a long range, extended range version. It's going to Abu Dhabi, Etihad Airways. Registration is A6ETG. It's a 14-year-old aircraft. I love the noise that these 777s make. They've got a very unique growl to them. There's a few aircraft whose engine noise is very unique to that type of aircraft. It's that engine. 777 is usually one of them. You can hear it. It's a noisy aircraft, which is cool. I like noisy aircraft. Usually the bigger aircraft usually just go to the very end of the runway. This one isn't. It's turned and is going to enter the runway a bit closer to where we are, which is good. You get a nice, better close-up shot. Okay, we're all on the runway, ready to take off. Right, that's pretty cool. Do like 777. Right, next up then we've got, let's have a look. We've got Ryanair going to Dublin. Boeing 737-800, registration 9H QEP. It's a 7-year-old aircraft. The aircraft behind is a Scandinavian SAS Airbus A320neo from Copenhagen. Right, next up then we've got this, it's a Jet 2, go to Lanzarote. It's 737-800. Registration GJZ BP. It's a 7-year-old aircraft, this one. That's that one gone. So next up is this TUI. It's going to Sharm el Sheikh, Boeing 737 MAX 8. Registration GTUMB. It's a 7-year-old aircraft. Okay, next up we've got a Ryanair 737-800 going to Rome, registration 9H QAB, and it first flew in 2017. Also approaching the runway, we've got a Jet 2 going to Antalya and an EasyJet going to Belfast. Right, so we've got this Jet 2 going to Antalya. This is the EasyJet going to Belfast. And a Jet 2 going to Rovaniemi. It's looking like the EasyJet is going to go first. It's the EasyJet to Belfast, it's Airbus A320-200, registration is GEZGX. This one first flew in 2018. Right, so the next one is going to be the Jet 2. It's going to Rovaniemi, Airbus A321neo, registration GSUNB. It's a 2-year-old aircraft. This jet 2 is going to Antalya, Boeing 737-800, registration is JZBA, first flew in 2017. Just waiting for the air in front to be cleared, and then it will be on its way. Okay, next up looks like we've got KLM. So Boeing 737-700. Don't get too many of the 700s anymore, so it's always good to see them whenever they do appear. Registration PH BGG. 16-year-old aircraft. Going to Amsterdam. And just over to the side, we've got a Lufthansa Airbus A319-100 that's going to Frankfurt. Registration is D8IBC. And it's a 15-year-old aircraft. Very soon we will also have a Airbus A330 Aer Lingus landing. That's on approach. It's currently over Oldham, so it's a few minutes away yet. The KLM now making its way onto the runway. Pilots are doing the final checkouts. And lined up on the runway, ready to depart. We've got Ryanair 737-800 going to Cork, registration EI EKM. This one's a 15-year-old aircraft. I've got some good news as well. The Airbus A380 is pushing back. See the Super Jumbo take off. The A330 Aer Lingus that's just arrived from Dublin. It's an Airbus A330-300 registration EI GAJ. It's an 8-year-old aircraft. Right, looking over 787 Dreamliner heading out. Got this Ryanair going to Belfast, Boeing 737-800. Registration is GRUKI. It's a 19-year-old aircraft. Just coming into the land, we've got a, there it is. It's a Ryanair 737-800. Arriving from Copenhagen. Registration EI EBR. Right, so this is a 7879 Dreamliner, Qatar Airways to Doha. Registration is A7BHD. It's a 6-year-old aircraft. So the Dreamliners come in 3 different sizes. There's the Boeing 7878, which is the smallest, the 9's in the middle, and the 10 are the largest. This one being a 9. It's one of my favourite aircraft. I love the noise it makes, I love the shape of it. It's got a great safety record. It's only had one. Only one of them has ever crashed. The investigation ongoing. She's pointing towards a pilot, unfortunate pilot event. So then we've now got on the runway the Origny ATR 72-600 going to Guernsey. Registration GPBOT, 11-year-old aircraft. Earlier in this video, it arrived. Just behind it is what is it? It's like Turkish Airlines from Istanbul. Right, so the freighter, 777 freighter has been delayed by another hour, so I'm going to wait a bit longer for that one. But right now we've got an EasyJet Airbus A320-200 going to Amsterdam. Registration G, EZ, TZ. It's a 15-year-old aircraft. So we're just waiting now for clearance to take off. We've got two Ryanairs. The one on the right is going to Malta, Boeing 737 MAX 8200. Registration EI IFY, 2-year-old aircraft, and the one on the left is going to Oslo, 737 800. So it's going to Oslo, 737-800, registration GRUKF. This one's a 19-year-old aircraft. So the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo, Emirates going to Dubai. Registration is A6EOQ. This one first entered service in 2015. Sorry about that. A380 to take off. Never gets old. Okay, this one is the SAS Mitsubishi CRJ 900 LR. It's going to Stockholm. Registration EI FPW, 7-year-old aircraft. It's the same one that arrived a little while ago, earlier in this video. It's quite a rare visitor to Manchester. You don't see this type of plane here too often. In a few minutes we're going to have a Hainan Airlines Airbus A330, is it? Possibly. Qatar Airways Dreamliner as well. We've got a bunch of aircraft which are approaching the runway. So quite a bit of activity is going to be happening in the coming minutes. Right, next up we've got Ryanair. It's going to Alicante, 737-800, registration EI-GXI, 7-year-old aircraft. A wobble there. Right, so this TUI is going to Enfida. It's a Boeing 737-800, registration GTUKW. It's a 12-year-old aircraft. this one is a Jet 2 going to Faro, Portugal. So 737-800, registration GDRTJ, 16-year-old aircraft. Next up though, we've got a Dreamliner, the Qatar Airways 7879 Dreamliner going to Doha. Oops. Registration is A7BHL and it's a 5-year-old aircraft. So this Jet 2 is going to Tenerife. It's a Boeing 737-800, registration GDFR, and it is a 22-year-old aircraft. Right, just coming into land then, we've got a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300 arriving from Atlanta. Registration is GVGEM. It's a 14-year-old aircraft. On the runway now, we've got a British Airways Airbus A320-200 that's going to London Heathrow. Registration is GEUUI. It's a 23-year-old aircraft. Okay, we've got a few aircraft heading for the runway. We've got this Swiss Airbus A320-200 that's going to Zurich. Registration HBIJR. It's a 28-year-old aircraft. Just behind it is a Junyao Air Dreamliner going to Shanghai. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Registration B20D1. It's a 6-year-old aircraft, and then there is also, where's it gone? The Norwegian 737-800, registration SERPF, 9-year-old aircraft. But first we've got the Swiss. The Norwegian 737 is lined up, ready to go next. Okay, this Jet 2 has leapfrogged the Dreamliner. So Jet 2 going to Funchal, Airbus A321neo. Registration is GSUNH. It's a 1-year-old aircraft and it's a service in March 2024. It's coming up 2 years old. Okay, so let's have a look at the Dreamliner. So this is the 787-9 Dreamliner Journey Out Air in the colourful petals livery. It's going to Shanghai, registration B20D1. It's a 6-year-old aircraft entering service in August of 2019. I do like the liveries on the Johnny Out Airs. They've got quite a few different designs and they're all really good. I like them. Off to Shanghai it goes. Right, making its way to the runway then we've got British Airways. It's going to London Heathrow and it's the Airbus A320neo. Registration is GTTNA and it is in the Better World livery. I actually like this livery much better than the standard BA livery. Just coming into view behind it is a Ryanair that's going to Pisa, 737-800. So the Airbus Neos, it stands for new engine option, better fuel efficiency. Right, so this is the Ryanair going to Pisa, 737-800, registration 9HQDH, 9-year-old aircraft. So it's just waiting for its authorisation to take off. Okay, up next then we've got the Finnair in the One World livery. Let's go to Helsinki. It's an Airbus A319-100, registration OH-LVD, and it's a 25-year-old aircraft. Entered service back in 2000. Right, we've also got Brussels Airlines just arrived. One of its rare liveries. It's the Red Devils livery. It's an Airbus A320-200. Registration is OOSNO. Okay, just coming into land, we've got an ASL Airlines, Boeing 737-800, registration GOHJK, it's arriving from Nottingham. And it's a 17-year-old aircraft. don't usually get to see the ASL aircraft too often, so it's quite a nice surprise to see this one at this time of day. Right, I'm keeping an eye out now on the terminal area because we should see a 777 Virgin Atlantic, sorry, not a 777, Airbus A350 1000 Virgin Atlantic should be making an appearance within the next minute or so. Whilst we wait for the A350, let's have a look. We've got a TAP Express coming into land. It's Portugalia Airlines, got from Lisbon. It's an Embraer E190LR. Registration is CSTPT. And it's a 15-year-old aircraft. Just behind it is part of the runway viewing park. It's a great place to go visit if you're ever in the area. A couple of aircraft just behind that building. There's an old Trident and also a Nimrod as well, which is pretty cool. So it's good to go visit them. You can get guided tours. There's a DC-10 Monarch cockpit. There's a hangar there that's got a Concorde in there, and there's a Avro RJX as well. Okay, just coming into land is an Icelandair. It's a Boeing 737 MAX 8 from Reykjavik. Registration TF ICT. And it's in March it'll be 2 years old. Right, we can now have a look at the A350 1000. This is the larger of the two variants. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you look at the rear wheels, rear wheel bogies, the 1000s have got two sets of 6 wheels, whereas the 900s have got 2 sets of 4. It's the quickest and easiest way to tell them apart. There is a size difference, but it's not always immediately obvious. Okay, we are due to have the freighter depart very soon. It's been quite severely delayed this morning, but hopefully it will be making an appearance very, very soon. Right, just coming into land is an EasyJet. Airbus A320 from Paris. Registration GEZ OK. Bit of a crosswind there, giving it a bit of a wobbly landing, but it's down on the ground, nice and safe. So this A350 is going to Orlando. Registration is GVTEA. This plane first flew in 2020. Just behind then is a Lufthansa Airbus A320neo from Munich. Just arriving. Fuck's sake. to land now is a Jet 2 from Prague. It's an Airbus A320-200, registration GEZOL. It's a 10-year-old aircraft. Right, coming up then in the next few minutes or so, we've got a few large aircraft. We've got a Gulf Air Dreamliner, which is shown on the screen with the transponder on. We've also got the Central Airlines freighter, 777 freighter, and coming into land within the next minute or two is an Indigo Dreamliner. So quite a few of the larger aircraft coming in. So if you're enjoying the video, please remember to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and remember to leave me a comment as well. I'd appreciate all of that very, very much. It helps support the channel, and they are metrics that I use to gauge how to make improvements for your viewing pleasure. So if you could do those three things, that would be wonderful. Okay, let's have a look then. So this is the Norse Dreamliner. It's our Indigo. Let's get some focus. It's a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Mumbai. Registration LNFNC. It's a 7-year-old aircraft. Okay, so we've transitioned onto single runway use. So taking off and landing on 23 right. This one's a Jet 2, Airbus A321neo, going to Lanzarote. This one is an Airbus A320 British Airways arriving from London Heathrow. You see it being blown about by the crosswind. just making its way out now is a Gulf Air Dreamliner. It's a 7879 Dreamliner going to Bahrain. Registration is A9CFF and it is a 6-year-old aircraft. Okay, just taking off now, we've got a Ryanair 737-800 going to Milan. Just coming into land, we've got a KLM from Amsterdam, Boeing 737-800. Over, we have got the freighter, which is the one I've been waiting for. This is Central Airlines Boeing 777-200 freighter. Registration is B227H and it is flying off to Nottingham. It's a Cathay Pacific Airbus A350, looks like that's doing its pushback. And on approach we've also got an Airbus A380. So quite a bit of action coming up in the next few minutes. So for anybody not familiar with this plane, it's a very rare visitor to Manchester. We don't usually see this one. There's quite a lot of people from the Planespotting community here today to see this one. There's photographers everywhere. look where the A380 is. Right, the A380 is just over Stockport. So I think we're going to see the Gulf Air take off before we see the A380 land. Right, so the Gulf Air is on the runway. Okay, arriving, we've got the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo arriving from Dubai. Registration is A6EOG. It's an 11-year-old aircraft. Again, being blown about a bit by the wind. Right, so there is the Cathay Pacific Airbus A350, which is taxiing out towards the runway. It's an Airbus A350-900, registration BLRD, 9-year-old aircraft. Behind it we've got an Aer Lingus Airbus A330 that's going to Bridgetown. It's an A330-300, registration GEILA, so a 15-year-old aircraft. Right, so the plane coming into land is coming in from Bordeaux. It's an EasyJet Airbus A320neo. Once again, this is the Central Airlines 777 F1H going to Nottingham, registration B227H. behind the trees there. It's a Ryanair arriving from Dublin. It's the 737-800. Right, see movement. It's just beginning its takeoff run. Okay, so the Aer Lingus Airbus A330-300, registration GEILA, going to Bridgetown, Barbados. 15-year-old aircraft. Behind it is a Ryanair going to Budapest, Boeing 737-800. Behind that, we've got Turkish Airlines going to Istanbul, Airbus A321 Neo. Behind that, another Ryanair 787 MAX 8200 to Tenerife. And over at the terminals, getting ready to depart, are a couple of the large wide-body aircraft. Okay, just leaving the terminal, looks like we've got a TUI Dreamliner, which is going to Bridgetown. Just out of view, there's a Singapore Airlines A350 going to Singapore, and the Hainan Airlines A330 going to Beijing. Okay, now coming into land as a viewing. Coming into view as a viewing. Arriving from Barcelona is an Airbus A320-200. our Singapore Airlines A350. Right, taking off then next is the Turkish Airlines A321neo going to Istanbul. Right, so the tail you can see is the TUI. It's going to Bridgetown. It's a 7879 Dreamliner. Registration is GTUIL. 7-year-old aircraft. Just about to begin its takeoff run. Off to Barbados it goes. Right, so this is the Hainan Airlines Airbus A330-300. It's going to be going to Beijing. Registration is B1096. First flew in 2018. Okay, on the runway now is the Singapore Airlines Airbus A350-900 going to Singapore. Registration 9VSMI. First flew in 2016. Right, so this is going to be the last one. It's the Hainan Airlines Airbus A330 going to Beijing. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for watching the video. Really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments what your favourite aircraft of today has been. Please remember to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Happy New Year, everybody. 2026 will be a fantastic year for you all. This is Ace Plane Spotting. See you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.